Boom. What is up, freaks, my friends, my fellow compatriots, my knuckle-dragging troglodytes, upright bipedal humans, Homo sapiens. I hope you guys are well. I hope all of you are not having a terrible day. I am actually on my way to Colorado Springs. I'm going to go see a friend and spend some time there engaging issues and discussion, and hopefully have the opportunity to have a good time. Because sometimes it seems, I don't know if this is, anybody else can attest to this, but sometimes it seems like we're not willing to give ourselves permission to feel good, right? We're not willing to give ourselves the freedom to feel relaxed or to feel okay, because we don't feel like we deserve to feel okay. We don't feel like we're worthy of feeling better. A lot of times we are our biggest critic. I don't know how many of you guys have heard that, but I've heard it a million times over and over again. Not only am I my biggest critic, or we are our biggest critic, but we're also our biggest judge. And we're willing to punish ourselves more than anybody else would punish us. We're willing to engage in harming ourselves emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, whatever. We're willing to harm ourselves because we feel like we deserve it. We deserve to be punished in that way. It's oftentimes how we feel, right? We feel like we we have done something so terrible and atrocious, we actually deserve to experience this hardship or pain. Which is a lot of times why we see people pushing other people away. Right? We push people away. Why? Because we don't feel worthy of a friendship and a relationship like that. We push people away because we don't feel like we deserve to feel good. We push people away because. The logo I made today says, I made it yesterday, but sometimes my emotions feel larger than me. That's a fact, guys. Humans, lunatics. Sometimes the emotions that we feel so much bigger than we can imagine. They overwhelm us. They actually sometimes tend to engage us in ways that we can't understand. A lot of times we try to engage our emotions like we're fighting a big 6'2" MMA fighter, and everybody wonders what the hell we're doing and saying, hey, that's a big MMA fighter. What are you doing? You're doing that alone? You're going to go do that alone. You're going to go fight that alone? And we can see the size of it. But you just ignorantly run into it and say, yeah, I can take it on. So when somebody breaks their leg, when somebody breaks their foot, when somebody damages their body and is put in a cast or put in some kind of physical, like a crutch or a cane or a splint or something, right? And you were to see that person walking around, and then while you're seeing them walk around, all of a sudden you watch them just rip that cast off. You'd say, what the hell are you doing? Stop. No. Dude, you need to get better first. Dude, you can't do that. You need to get better first. If we would see somebody with a crutch, with a broken leg, and they just started bolting down the street, you would say, stop, friend, I care about you. You're going to hurt yourself further if you don't stop, friend. Please, stop. But yet, when we engage a physical issue, a mental issue, we don't treat it in the same way for some reason. When we engage a mental issue, a psychological issue, for some reason, we treat it with a different kind of regard. We actually disregard it oftentimes. We neglect to treat mental or psychological or spiritual issues appropriately. Because of, a variety of different reasons why we do that, but I would say primarily because it's unseen, out of sight, out of mind. A lot of times it's easy to forget about those things because they're not there. It's easy to forget about the mental or psychological impacts of behavior, of decisions, of thought patterns, of imbibing substances, of going to places, of spending time with certain people, etc., etc., etc. I could keep going and going and going. But the point is, we forget about the impact emotionally because it's blind to us, because we don't see it, because a lot of us don't spend time engaging. That's part of our psyche. A lot of us spend more time engaging the physical side of our psyche. How does that make me feel on the outside, right? obviously we're aware that it makes us feel things on the inside, but we oftentimes neglect to appropriately address those impacts. And because we don't address those impacts and how what we do is going to make us feel emotionally, not just physically, but emotionally, we get blindsided. So because we are negligent, we get blindsided. Because we are oblivious or sort of blissfully ignorant, because we are blind to it, we experience hardship on some intense levels when really we don't need to. I mean, that's like we're experiencing. It's like when you see the young private running with his shoelaces untied. You say, "Private, well, number one, first do push-ups until I get tired, and then I'm kidding. I know, I'm saying, like, you're gonna fall, you're gonna hurt yourself. And God forbid you go out on a mission with your shoelaces untied, because then you become a risk to the entire platoon. Come on, what are you doing? You can't do that. Tie your damn shoelaces, private. Come on, right? So when we see physically clear things, like shoelaces untied, broken legs, we address them with almost pure prejudice. We don't give any leeway to it. We address it immediately, right? But yet when we address a mental issue, a psychological issue, we seem to get more blasé. It's whatever, and it's okay. And if it's any response, typically, unfortunately, the response is, well, let's medicate it. Right? Let's give it some prescriptions. Let's give it some pharmaceuticals. Let's do the cut, copy, and paste routine that we've been doing that we know doesn't work, but sometimes kind of does a little. And what it does, what it tends to do is just numb. It tends to dull. It tends to make people into zombies. People that don't really feel. Right? I hope somebody's relating to this out there. I hope somebody's listening. I hope if you're hearing this and you're saying, yeah, that's me waving the hand, well, let's do some engaging. Find the next opportunity you have to feel emotions and feel them. And if you're not sure how that looks or what that looks like or how that feels, or you don't know, meditation. That's where I'd start. It's very simple. Meditation. Go find somewhere calm and peaceful and download the Spotify application or go to YouTube. There's a variety of different methods and means that you can obtain a very simple guided 10-minute meditation. You know, it's not very difficult at all. You sit down, you do what the thing says. It's usually will tell you to sit with your back off the chair, feet comfortably, hands in the right position. And then it'll start telling you to think about your breathing. And then from there it'll continue on and it'll start to talk about, they'll start to tell you about the inside, how scanning your inside of your body. And then you kind of think about your surroundings, and then you think about what you can hear, and then you think about your skin, and you think about your current setting, and then you relax. And then you observe your thoughts, and then you give your whole attention to your breath. And then from there and these are just examples of what I've listened to different guided meditations talk about, right? So this is not like some special hidden secret. This is stuff anybody can do. But what it will do most of the time, and in most cases, if the right setting is given and you follow the guided meditation, a lot of times it'll put you in touch with feelings that maybe, perhaps, possibly you have not felt in a while. It may make you feel uncomfortable. It may make you feel emotional. It may make you feel nothing, and that's perfectly fine. So then from there, I would say, let's step it up. Let's go up a little bit higher. What does that look like? Well, let's go sit in a sauna. So you go and you find a gym near you that has a sauna, and you go sit in it. Try 5 minutes, nothing long, nothing crazy. Just 5 minutes, and do that little guided meditation as long as you can go. And then go out and sit right outside the sauna, cool down, maybe finish out the rest of the guided meditation if you hadn't finished it already. And then observe, just see, how does that make you feel? Well, it makes me feel hot, Tim. I mean, duh. Okay, that makes you feel hot, that's fine. But I'm saying, how did you feel differently? Did you relate to that experience in a different way than you normally would? These are questions that a lot of people don't really typically ask themselves. And the reason for that is that there's never really been a common activity of taking sort of a stock of your mental clarity. People are always taking stock of physical clarity, physical ability, because it's very transparent. It's right in front of you. You can see it. It's right there. You're not going to miss it. It's very transparently there. It's clear, right? When you see somebody that's physically fit or physically trained, you know, there's no question about it. When you see, like when I've been doing jiu-jitsu for a while, and excuse me, let me get a drink of water. Hang on. Drinking water is important, guys. If you're not drinking a lot of water every day, you should be. Quit drinking sodas, quit drinking teas, quit drinking coffee, and start drinking more water. Anyway. So since I started training jiu-jitsu, I started to notice this thing called cauliflower ear. And it's just puffiness in the ear because it's been bent over and cranked on so many times. Get some cartilage. It's pretty gross. Can be pretty painful. Anyway, kind of creates this little puffed up, puckered up ear look. And when you see a dude like that or a gal like that, you just best be, stay away, stay clear, be nice. Because there's some killers deep down inside. No, I'm kidding. That means they've been training in some kind of martial art or some kind of sport training that would require their ears to be cranked on. Typically wrestling, jiu-jitsu, that kind of stuff. MMA, whatever, anyway. But you see that and you know it. You know it. You know, oh, that's what that is. Yeah, that's what that is. That's what that means. Yeah, that's what that is. Oh, yeah, sure, I know that. But when you look at your brain, it's vastly different, isn't it? When you look at your emotions, it's significantly different. It's like you're in an alien world. It's like you're traveling on the moon or some stuff. You don't even know. It's confusing. It can be very confusing. It can be like you're in a different universe. It can be like you're in a different world. And when you see your neighbor with a broken leg, you can respond immediately. You can call the cops. You can call if there was if somebody came up and busted him in the leg, you can call the cops, and then you can go over and, oh man, are you okay? And you can give first aid, and you can show empathy, and fight or flight will kick in, and you'll get some of them endorphins, and you'll be helping, and you'll got some adrenaline pumping, and man, you'll be there. But if your neighbor walks out and he's clinically and chronically depressed and suicidal, he walks out in the same clothes he's worn for the last 3 weeks, and you see him on the front porch. Well, hey, Bill, how are you? I'm all right, I guess. Just another day. Oh, that's great then. Yeah, have a good one then, Bill. All right. That's what that would look like. Because you wouldn't right away know that person was having some kind of a mental illness. You wouldn't know that person was in the midst of a life-threatening issue. You wouldn't know because it's mental, because it's all up in your head, because a lot of times, a lot of these issues that people are facing that are causing them such drastic issues and making them take all these pills and feel this way and blah, 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 it's all up there in their emotions. So taking stock of that emotional warehouse is necessary. Taking a peek at what we have up there is absolutely essential, and the reason for this is what I just said. That we don't know a lot of times what's going on in the brains of people near us. So we have to ask, we have to engage, and we have to be actively engaging our own brains, looking into what we have going on in our brain, how we're responding. Because just like the body, we have to engage the brain, the mind, the spirit, if I can, the soul, right? We have to engage that in a real way, in some way. Many, many people engage it in varieties of different ways. Through fellowship with other people who are like-minded, through, taking natural supplements, through all kinds of stuff. Hey, what's up? Joshua Pete's listening live. I appreciate that. Listen, it's not just about checking the boxes. Again, if you walked up to somebody and you saw them physically broken with a broken foot, you would give them aid. You would empathize with their plight. You would feel their pain, if I can put it that way. But when you see somebody who's, like I said, on the brink of suicide, you don't know that. So you have to ask, because you can't offer first aid if you don't know the problem. What was the causation? What was the cause of injury? What is wrong? And if the person says, I don't know, you know what? When somebody says, when you come upon somebody who's laying on the side of the road with a broken leg and you say, oh my God, what happened? Dude, what happened? Are you okay? Oh my God, are you all right, dude? Are you okay? And if they're just like, I don't know. I don't know. My leg hurts. Oh my God, I don't know. I don't know what's wrong. My leg hurts. Right? And then, and let's take that into a mental setting for a minute. You come up on somebody, hey, how are you? I don't know, man. I really think about killing myself every day. Oh, really? That's terrible, man. Can I help you? I mean, what's wrong? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's wrong. Right? Why do we give people who are physically ill more of a break than we do people who are mentally ill? Why? Why are we harder on people who are mentally broken versus people who are physically broken? Why? Well, the answer shortly, I would say, would be because we can't see it. Because it's not as visible, right? Because it's not right there in front of our face, like a broken foot is. It's not right there in front of our ears, you know, hearing the person scream, smelling the blood. It's not like that. It's not tangible in that way, and so it doesn't feel that way. So we have sometimes a difficult disconnection. But today I'm offering you guys the opportunity to not do that. To instead engage a person who is on the brink of life or death in the same way as you would someone who is physically on the brink of life or death. But not just somebody else, okay? So let's take all that and let's pull it back into ourselves here for a minute. What about that self-examination? What about that opportunity to engage your own brain and mind in the same way? If my leg was broken, y'all would know about it right now. Because I'd say it out loud, really loudly, over and over again, probably a lot, because my leg is broken. But yet, mentally, if my leg mentally is broken, if I'm feeling soreness in my muscles, in my brain, I don't know, there's some kind of malady there, why wouldn't I be as vocal? Why are we in some way, form, or fashion attaching mental maladies to weakness? I don't understand. Because we don't do that to physical maladies. If a man goes to war and breaks his leg and comes back, I don't know, we would treat differently. I'm not saying it's wrong or right. Let's observe these things. Let's see them. Let's be aware of them. And then let's decide what to do with the data, with the facts, with the reason that we have pulled from this experiment. Then we can choose what to do with it. We can choose how to deal with the problem. We can choose how to engage the issue. But until we really actually feel the emotions that we run from, we're never going to get anywhere. We're always going to be stuck in the crap that we're in until we can actually feel. And your body is a smart machine. Your body disengages and disassociates when it needs to out of a means of defense. Your body will disengage when it needs to. Your body and mind are smart machines. They understand that they can't live in the moment of trauma. They have to exist. So they will disassociate, they will pull away, they will pause, they will mute, they will give you the chemicals needed to not feel certain things when needed, right? Your body's got all kinds of systems. It works things out. So the goal is not necessarily to fight against those things or to try to chemically change those things. Listen to me, folks taking pharmaceuticals. I'm not busting your chops, but listen closely. The goal is not to mute or pause those things or change the chemical nature of those things, but instead to engage them in some real capacity, head on, let them feel, let your brain work out these problems like it wants to do. Feel those terrible, disgusting emotions, those absolutely mind-wrenchingly terrible feelings and events. Feel them. Feel them. Because the only way to heal a broken leg is setting it, friends. You have to pull that bad boy out and feel it. The only way to fix the arm that's been pulled out of socket is pain. Pain. So the moral of that story is, you're going to have to feel the feel. That's really the facts. So get ready for that. Be prepared for that. Don't quit when that happens. Don't run away when it gets difficult. Do the difficult things even when no one is watching. Go to the dojo and let that big giant oof of a dude choke you out all day until it's over, until the class is finished, and then leave, and then come back the next day and go to class, and then leave, and then come back the next day and go to class. Why? Because I'm not going to let the fear of getting crushed stop me from doing the thing that I know I really want to do. I really want to do jujitsu. I enjoy it. And I'm not going to let some dude crushing me stop me from doing it. In fact, I'm going to glean knowledge from it. I'm going to get data from that pain. Do you understand? I become a farmer for pain. Not because I like it, but because I see the crop that it harvests, that I can harvest. I see what it can reap. The value of difficulty is very, very, very underestimated. Sometimes my emotions feel larger than me, and when they do, I don't run from that feeling. I want to. I want to every single time. I want to run from my difficulty so much that you wouldn't even understand it and believe it. A lot of people look at folks like my buddy Matt Kale, or maybe my buddy Jose Bolin, or some of these other guys who are doing veterans advocacy work. I think of Ian Benoit. I think of Jeremiah. I think of some other guys. And I hear these dudes, and a lot of people think, man, these guys must have it all squared away. Nah, man, it's not like that at all. In fact, every single day for us is a struggle. Every single day is a battle. And we do what we do by the skin of our teeth. We do it because we see the value in it. We do it because we give a gigantic crap about our fellow human being, particularly those human beings who have chosen to put their name on the dotted line and say, I'm willing to have put my life on the line to die for my country. I didn't get the chance, but I'm willing to. Those folks, man, there's a special love for those humans. So don't lose hope today, friends. If you're thinking about hurting yourself or somebody else, don't do that. It's not going to help you. It's going to make you feel worse. And it's an all the time answer for a short time problem. This is temporary, guys. This is just part-time here. The way to get through this is to feel this. One orphan finds his path on the course that he would take to avoid it, friends. So don't run from the course that you believe is hard and difficult. In fact, turn around and look at that difficult thing and understand, and maybe contemplate why you think it's so hard. Why is that such a difficult thing? Why? Why does that seem so hard, right? Turn around and look at the hard thing. Would you just look at it? I mean, would you just look at it? Would you? Would you just look at it for a second? The kid in baseball who squints at the ball gets hit in the face every time. Every time. So you need to let that go. You need to face your fear. That's the only way you're going to be able to catch the ball. Stare at it. Look at it. Head on. Head on. Guys, for more information about how you can help engage with me, get in contact with me, please send me an email, a message. TimothyLocklear.com is my website. It's got my email, Instagram, Facebook, all that jazz. BorisTheServiceDog.com has got a link to my service dog. He's an amazing animal that, man, he helps me in ways that a lot of people don't understand. So check him out, find out more about service dogs, and get your dog trained appropriately by a legitimate service dog trainer. VeteransForNaturalRights.org and at Veterans for Natural Rights on Facebook is an organization that helps veterans get access to resources, data, information, communication, fellowship, all kinds of crap that veterans need, guys. Every human being in this world that has experienced the kind of trauma related to service in the military needs this kind of fellowship. It's not about a brand, and it's not about weed. It's not about getting high. It's none of that stuff. It's about fellowship. It's about community. It's about the understanding that we are a part of a tribe and we need connection in order to survive. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Lastly, and also more importantly, I try to end every podcast this way if I can. Don't kill yourself today, guys. If you have a plan, call somebody. Reach out to somebody. Don't kill yourself. Please share this with a veteran friend or family. Please let them know that they matter. Please tell them that you love them today, because maybe that'll be the first time they hear it, and hopefully not the last time. Appreciate you.